Hey everyone, welcome to the results video of multiplayer round 71. In this round all the players had to create something on a small 3x3 plot. Now in this video I will show you all of these plots. I'll start with the one that got the lowest score and I'll finish by announcing who is the winner of this round. Alright, I will use the cutaway view for all these plots, because else you probably won't be able to see much, since they're pretty much blocking each other's views. Anyway, in 23rd place we have the entry from 73. And 73 created this little house here on top of these large roto-drop towers. Not really sure why the house is on these towers, but it does seem pretty tall. Alright, then in 22nd place we have this entry from Nietzsche Sky. He created this tiny little garden, which also has this Roman entertainer on it. And these two small little buildings here in the grass. So this is one of those clock tower buildings. And this just looks like a little gazebo. Alright, then in 21st place we have this entry from 2IQ. And he used his 2 brain cells to create this small little coaster. Here you can see this little dive coaster car, and it travels back and forth in between these two these 4 little castle tower pieces. One in black and one in white. Okay, and then next up is the entry from Stu. You may know him from his YouTube channel, and he created this small little coaster here. And yeah, you can see it traveling backwards here. It actually has these 2 wild mouse vehicles. And then it goes up the spike and then it travels back to the station. So yeah, tiny little shuttle coaster. But it does look like it takes guests. So I guess that's a win. Okay, next up is the plot from Clem. And Clem made this little Jurassic scene. So over here you can see this tropical little plot. Also some stuff moving around here under the foliage. And then here on top we have this animatronic dinosaur or bird dinosaur. Pteranodon, I believe it's called. Yeah, nice little scene. Maybe a little bit overgrown, but I quite like it. Okay, then next up we have the plot from In Error Predicting a Fault. And I believe this is a scene from 2001 A Space Odyssey. I believe I read something like that in his story. Now, a quite simple landscape, some of this red rock. Also there's a monkey walking around here. There's also some guests frozen here. It's actually an invisible toilet ride. You can see the guests were in error predicting a toilet. Interesting name for the toilet. And here you can see a monolith, and it's just a completely black slate of rock. But yeah, I'm sure it's relevant to the story. I haven't watched the movie or read the book yet. Okay, next up is the plot from ATN. ATN created this tower here. I think the tower looks pretty cool. Also some movement in the plot here. You can see a cogwheel inside. Also some stuff rotating here at the top. I'm not sure what this tower is supposed to represent though. Maybe a story would have helped us decipher what this actually represents. But yeah, I do think it looks pretty cool. Okay, then next up is this monstrosity from Matt M. Now I have no idea what the hell this is, but yeah, it's a tower full of sharks. No idea how he did this. I think he put them in one of the top spin modes, which makes them move like crazy. And all these vehicles seem to be moving in the same pattern. And yeah, it gives this really weird effect here. And the ride is called Enticing a Mate. So that's probably what these sharks are doing here, some kind of mating dance. Not sure, but it for sure looks hypnotic. Alright, next up is a plot that I slapped together for this contest. You can see it here in the corner. So basically just some of this canyon flooring here. And I made this little raptor rodeo ride here in the middle. So guys can actually line up here and then try to stay on the raptor for as long as possible. Also entertainer here. There's a roast here. And yeah, this is not all of the plot. If you use the cutaway view, or if I just hide the ground, the land edges, I mean, then you can actually see there's also an illegal rave party going on here in the basement. So yeah, I noticed that you can actually use these entertainers in the drowning pose to actually make it look like they're dancing. So yeah, yeah, I think this drowning pose actually works here pretty well. And of course, all these animal entertainers, they all have these funny dances that they can do. So yeah, I thought this was a funny plot. I didn't spend too much time on it, so I'm happy with the score that it got. Alright, next up is the plot from Popsicle Penguin. Now, Popsicle Penguin hasn't joined the contest in several years. It's always nice to see old players make their returns. But yeah, I think it's a really cool looking plot. It has all these different layers to it. Doesn't really look like there's an overarching theme. Maybe the theme is just toys. But yeah, for sure it does look really cool with all these different layers. You can see a chessboard over here. You can see this car going around. There's an elevator going all through the plot. Here at the top, yeah, we see a dinosaur. Some weird colors, so they definitely look like toys. There's a train going around. Yeah, overall I think it's a really cool looking plot. And it's nice to see a Popsicle Penguin back in action. Alright, next up is the plot from Jan the Man 227. Oh, I messed up the cutaway view. Let me try that again. There we go. So yeah, over here you can see a castle that Jan the Man 227 built. Now it actually has several layers to it, and the building is also completely decorated on the inside. And here on the top you can see this dragon flying around in the sky between these clouds. You can see a brave knight here at the top of the tower. And then with the cutaway view we can actually look inside the building as well. Here we can see a room with a big table and a treasure chest. And here at the bottom floor you can actually see an army that has been assembled. Yeah, I think this is really nicely done. I always like buildings that have decorated interiors, and it's I think it's a nice way how Jan the Man did this staff scene here. And here at the bottom level we can see some witchcraft going on, and there's even a burger cave over here. Okay, next up is the plot from Casual Coaster Fan. Casual Coaster Fan created this crane here, or at least it's a cutout of a crane. So yeah, here you can see part of the crane, the rest isn't visible. We'll have to imagine that it's outside of the plot. But yeah, here in the middle we can see this elevator which travels up and down. And guests can then queue up here for this bungee jump ride, which you can see yeah, go down right next to the tower here. I think it's an interesting way of doing a plot like this. Of course, these plots are not big enough to do an actual crane. Not really sure if it's super nice idea to do a cutout like this of a crane, but at least I think it is clear to most people what it actually is. So I'm sure it is pretty effective. Okay, next up is the plot from Lurker. No, I have no idea what this is. Just a simple tower with lots of mechanical stuff, lots of moving components, and I do think it looks pretty cool. Kind of like a steampunky thing. Not really sure, but it does look pretty nice. Alright, next up is the plot from One Bull Shark. Now, I did have to dock a point from One Bull Shark's score, because this ride here at the bottom, which is called Keelhaul, it actually extends several tiles outside of the plot. And that's a big no-no in competitions like this. So yeah, that's why his score is 1 point lower than it would normally have been. But I do think this plot that he made here is really cool. So it looks like a cutout of a pirate ship. Here at the top you can see the mast, and here you can see the sail. There's also a pirate hanging from it. I really like how he did the top of the mast. That's such a good combination of objects over here. And here you can also see inside of the ship there's several of these cannons. I think this is actually a pretty good use of these animated objects. They have a little bit of a weird animation here. Maybe that's something that could be fixed. But yeah, yeah, I really like how the interior of the ship is also decorated. All these explosives down here. Also lots of treasure. And here at the bottom we can actually see what looks like a huge treasure chest. I think that's what it actually is. Not really sure. And then at the bottom, even more stuff is going on. But yeah, I thought this was a really cool plot. And I saw lots of nice comments from other reviewers for this plot. So yeah, definitely a really nice entry from One Bull Shark. Alright, the next entry is from Hex. And Hex somehow got this, this launch tower stuck at the top. There's actually several guests in it. Don't know how he did it, but it is pretty nicely done. I really like how he decorated the top of this drop tower. And I recommend everybody to do something similar when they're building a ride like this. Always give these rides a nice top. It's what they the real ones usually also have. Now, what I also really like is how Hex created this sign here, which kind of looks like a rocket. Yeah, that's very nice usage of signs. And yeah, all these letters actually are a great way to make some nice shapes here. So that's really well done. Alright, the next plot is from FlixPy. Now he instructed us to use the cutaway view like this. So over here you can see a little mine. And the mine actually also extends down underground. Yeah, I think that's it just looks really cool. I love this entrance into the mine, also with this mine train coaster track here. And yeah, it's just fun also seeing it underground. Also with some growth here. Kind of actually reminds me of Minecraft, the lush caverns that you can have. So lots of water here. Yeah, I think it's just really nicely decorated. I love all these supports here underground. Also this big pillar in the middle. And yeah, that's just really nicely done. Alright, next up is something that people who have played Fallout might recognize. This looks like a big Nuka-Cola vending machine. I love the shape of this thing, the way that Madetalk made it. There's some movement here on top with this waterfall here behind glass. Kind of looks like static here. And also some decoration here in the form of these Coca-Cola bottles from the candy set. And here's one of those Vault Boy bobbleheads. Yeah, for the people who have played the Fallout games, like me, this is just yeah, so fun to watch. And I think Madetalk did a great job here. Alright, next up is the plot from Manticore 007. And he recreated a figure from Efteling. I believe this character plays in a children's series which you can watch on YouTube, which is really popular with kids all throughout the Netherlands. Now this version that Manticore made, I think it's a little bit creepier than the actual one, but I still think it's a really creative use of objects. For example, I love how he made these hands using these recolored clover leaf or these clover bushes. Yeah, just a wonderful little plot from Manticore. Also love the sign here, Yoki and Yet. Okay, next up is this plot from 30. And 30 made this machine called the Claw. Now, you may have seen machines like these at your local fairground. So it's one of these machines. There's lots of prizes here, and there's this claw, which sometimes exerts enough power to actually pick up something from this big pile of toys here, or whatever it is that you can win. And then looks like in this case you can actually win guests. So there's quite a few frozen guests inside here, which is pretty cool. You can also see this mechanic, which is supposedly hanging from the claw here. And yeah, I love how 30 made all this stuff here. I also love the revolving lights. I love how he did the claw here. This joystick also done pretty nicely. Here we can see another one of these hanging mechanics. Maybe he could have just hung a different entertainer over here, just to make it look less repetitive. But yeah, I do think it's really nicely done. I think it's a wonderful plot. Alright, then we have a tie for third place. So the first entry that's in third place is this entry from Low Poly. Now Low Poly made this incredible cityscape here. Yeah, I love how it's done. I think this is the part that's supposed to be underground. Not completely sure, but there's lots of piping here and walkways. And here we see a road with a big panda on it, so I guess this is the above ground part. It looks like an Asian city with this pagoda here. Well, the panda also kind of gives it away, these lanterns. Probably also the top of this tower. But yeah, I think it looks like an incredible little cityscape. Also love the backdrop that Low Poly put behind here. It's only visible from one angle. Yeah, and I think this is just incredible work. I think it looks good from every angle. And it's just a wonderful little site. I think what would have finished it is maybe if the airship was also moving around, or maybe some more movement. But even without that, it's an incredible scene. Alright, and here's the other entry that got third place. It's the entry from Anda23. Now you can see something extending into his plot here, but that's actually the ride from the neighbor, One Bull Shark, and the reason he got docked a point. So this is not part of Ande's plot. But yeah, Anda23 created this, kind of looks like a monster truck. It driving over all these cars here. And these wheels, they're actually made with lots of log flume vehicles stacked on top of each other with the right vehicle editor. Here on top there's also lots of vehicles used to create this monster truck. And this smoke is of course created with crashed vehicles. This is such a creative entry. I don't know how long it took to do all these log flume vehicles in the right position, but for sure it's a really creative way to create a nice scene like this. And I'm pretty sure we will see this technique being used more in the future. Alright, there's just 2 more entries remaining. I will first show both of them, and after that I will reveal which one is the winner of this round. Alright, the first possible winner is the entry from Wes. And Wes actually created lots of different scenes in one. I'll have to increase the cutaway height because he built all the way to the height limit. But yeah, Wes basically was talking about several trips, or one trip that he took with his family and across several different sites. I believe there's even stuff underground here. Let me just hide the lenses. Yeah, there's some more stuff happening here. Now, I don't have the story for the plot in front of me, but there was lots of different scenes that were described in it. If you want to see these entries for yourself and also read the stories, there's a link to my website in the video description. And there you will be able to find all these entries, and also all entries from other contests. But yeah, here in the basement there's some stuff happening, kind of looks like some kind of diner. And over here it looks like a little park. And over here is I believe the Notre Dame of Ottawa. Here's a Peace Tower, something like that. This is probably a museum. And there's some more stuff happening. And here in the sky you can see a constellation. But yeah, I loved all the little scenes here with lots of nice little details in them. For example, I love how this airplane here was made using all these different track pieces, even some ride vehicles here. This tower just looks great. It just shows how much detail you can pack into 3x3 tiles if you really try hard. Yeah, wonderful little plot from Wes. Alright, and here's the final entry. This one's from Max Arceus. And Max Arceus actually created a geyser, but we can actually see a cutout here of a geyser, so we can actually see it from the side. Now, and there's also some educative stuff written here on the side. Now, I'm not gonna read out all of it, but if you're watching these entries for yourself, then you can read all of it and also learn some stuff. Quite a lot of stuff written down here. Well, yeah, basically it tells you how a geyser actually works and how they are formed. Well, yeah, I love all the different layers that you can see here on the edge. I love how Max Arceus also made it look sort of irregular. I believe these are some of the drab pieces from the European set from one of the RCT2 expansions. But yeah, I think it's a great way to make a nice cutout view like that. And it actually makes it look like there's all these tunnels here underground. Now, and then here up in the sky there's lots of stars, and there's actually also some constellations here, at least Orion is here, as he showed us in the Discord chat. And there's also this flag of Iceland over here. Yeah, I think it's a wonderful plot from Max Arceus, and I believe there's also stuff happening underground. Maybe not, but that's fine. I think we got enough content here. Alright, I'm doing a little cutout here so we can get a better look at the last two entries. Here's the entry from Wes, and here's the entry from Max Arceus. And now it's time to reveal which one of these last two entries is the winner of this round. Is it the entry from Wes, or is it the entry from Max Arceus? The winner of multiplayer round 71 is... Wes, with his collection of 3x3 creations, inspired by his trip in Canada. Yeah, both of these last two plots were incredible, but of course only one can be the winner. And Wes had quite a big margin on Max Arceus. But yeah, both of these plots were wonderful. Now, personally, I always love these 3x3 contests. They bring out so much creativity in these players, especially since they're forced to build in such a small plot, and that definitely brings out the best in players. They definitely have to cram a lot of detail into the plots to make them stand out, and it leads to some awesome creations, and to these sharks. But yeah, that's going to be it for this video. If you enjoyed watching these entries, please like this video. It would really help out my channel. I would love to hear in the comments what you think of these entries and which one was your favorite. And if you want to see more of these videos, you can always subscribe to my channel. Alright, hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you again in the next one. See you later.